arcade sucks!
Welcome to Sonic and the Moon Facility. Obviously, y'all know this game is not complete, but we can still beat the whole game. So that's what we're going to do. First thing we are going to do, though, is we're going to go ahead and give ourselves all the emeralds here in the debug mode, so that way we get a quote-unquote true ending. But man, let me tell you something about Moon Facility. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you a little shout about the Moon Facility, bro. This game is so peak. Let me tell you something. So first of all, sprite work even better than Fallen Star. If you remember the Fallen Star last video, I was praising Fallen Star constantly, and I will continue to do that, and I'm going to do that here as well. It's nothing has changed here. The level design in this is phenomenal, in my opinion. I like a lot of the gimmicks that they do. The sprite work is even better than Fallen Star. The music is even better than Fallen Star, in my opinion. There's a lot to love about this game, even when it's not done. Now, we do have a current team of other fans of some of the older people that worked on Moon Facility, some of the previous team that worked on Moon Facility, as well as a newer team that is working to restore this game. I think the leader behind the project is named Cookie Soda, so props to them, because holy crap, they're literally finishing one of my most anticipated fan games, and that's my only problem with this fan game, is that it was never finished. Literally just never finished, and it's so unfortunate too, because this is such a good game. The music especially, oh my gosh, just everything about this game, I love it. The only problem is it's not finished. You know, there's some bosses you can't fight. There's some other things that you can't do. But, you know, the sprite work, the music, the animations, they're all pretty much there. You know, everything else pretty much there. You know, bits of story aren't really there. Bosses, you know, other things, but you can pretty much play the whole game and beat it with Sonic. It's beatable with Sonic, and apparently it's beatable with Amy, because she's really broken in this game. Holy crap, she's probably one of my favorite characters to play in this game, because she is so broken. Like, she has a wall jump, and she can just continuously go up the wall and everything. It's crazy. This is what Super Sonic looks like. So he has an instant transformation sequence in this game. He doesn't just stop midair like he used to. I don't know if that's because they didn't animate it, or if that was intentional. If it was intentional, that's really cool. Now, he looks way better in this game, in my personal opinion, than he did in Fallen Star. He looked really good in Fallen Star, but this, oh my goodness, look at this dude, he's booking it. Oh my gosh, look at him go. Oh my gosh. And then like the flying animation, you can just tell he's free flying. Even his little animation before you do the before you do the drop dash is so cool. Like, look at this, bro. He's like, ah! It's so cool. I just love him. Now, the boss battle music also is really cool. And the sequences where they're like mess them up and stuff like that, and then it's like a little fight versus, you know. So this one isn't gonna have the traditional one, but there is a traditional song where it'll be like something like that. It's really, really good, and I love it a lot. And oh my gosh, I do want, even though this game isn't finished, and that's really my only gripes about it, I want to try to give as much appreciation as I can, because you can definitely still see the vision within this game, even with a lot of the stuff that isn't there. But that's why I'm also hopeful for the new project when it comes out. because it's been announced, because it's going to restore pretty much everything and give us a full complete thing, and we will do a playthrough on that when it comes out, don't worry. So this isn't the end of Moon Facility specifically, but Alpine Avenue Zone, the first zone, so very much looks like looks a lot like the first zone from the first game, Fallen Star, but the music here in my opinion is better. The level design is a little better. They have these gimmicks, as you can see. So I will say this game, in terms of level design, is a lot better than Fallen Star, but it does still have a lot of the whataboutisms of Fallen Star. If whataboutisms is the word that you want to use, I don't know if that's the appropriate wordage, but it is still kind of present here, where you have a lot of that back and forth motion. And whatnot, but it's still better in the form that you're not running around a long time. There's still a lot of things that you can interact with, and there's even gimmicks, a lot of gimmicks in this game. Every stage has a gimmick, and they're all prevalent and memorable and fun, unlike with Fallen Star, like I said in that video, where each stage does have a gimmick, but they aren't as memorable as you would think they are. Like these little flower things that throw you, very memorable, very fun gimmick. And you can tell that a lot of the late game gimmicks from Fallen Star, like I was saying, came completely into play here. And that Stardrop really understood what he wanted to do with those, and the gimmicks are pretty much, even with this incomplete experience, gimmicks were pretty much a staple through all the stages, which made them super freaking fun to do. Here's that music I was talking about, by the way. So good. I love that joke, bro. And the way he, like, freaking does that. And then his victory animation is a little different. His victory animation is a little different. It's still mostly similar to what it was, but he doesn't do the little, like, run in place anymore. He just does, like, a little spin and whatever. Now, something cool about this game is when you get a shield, they carry over into every single zone. So it's not just an Act 1, Act 2 exclusive thing like it is in most of the Sonic games. It's actually an exclusive thing to this game, where if I have this bubble shield and I'm able to keep it, as a reward, I'll be able to go into the next stage with it, which is Rocky something. I have trouble remembering the stage names, even though I remember them so clearly. I remember all the stages in this game, and I love them so much. Dude, the sprite work in this game, eye candy, man. Eye candy. But it's not just eye candy. It can be backed up with its, you know, pretty solid level design that is still, like I said, prevalent through this game. And, oh, just, there's so much to love about this game, even when it's not finished. And I personally, even though it's not finished, I personally like this more than Fallen Star. That might be a hot take, because I know a lot of people probably still prefer Fallen Star a lot more because it's the more finished, more polished experience. And this game is still surprisingly polished. It's very surprisingly polished, even with what you can and can't do, due to the limitations of, you know, the final alpha build that we're playing here. I'm not special enough to get one of the early builds of the new project, the new continuation project. I'm irrelevant, so, you know, unfortunately, I don't get blessed with that kind of stuff, you know, not like my other buddies do, you know, like, freaking Sendo probably sitting here with, like, the full game early review, like, bro, I'm probably not getting none of this. Now, this boss, pretty interesting, actually, because it reminds me a lot of the one from before. Is it before the sequel that had this, or after the sequel? One of the two of those. Hey, boss. Incredibly similar to this, where it was like a train, and you had to, you know, you had to follow it and hit it, and you had to climb up on it. I think it was before the sequel. I did it. But either way, look at that. We're just flying slow. And dang, we beat that pretty quick. I didn't even realize how quick we beat that junk. How much points we get for that? Not bad. But next we're going to... There are no cutscenes, by the way, in this, because like I said, it's not a complete experience, so no cutscenes. Rapids Ravine Zone. Now, I love this zone. Now, you'll notice something with a lot of the zones in this game. They're very different in nature from the Fallen Star variants, but in looks, they're very similar to their Fallen Star variants. You can definitely see the inspiration of Tropic Tracks here. Of tropical tracks here. You can definitely see the inspirations here in the colors and stuff, but the gimmick is very different. They have zip lines here now. They also have those little walls that you can wall grab onto, which are really fun. Holy crap, those are so fun. I love doing those little wall grabs because they actually launch you in the air if you know, grab onto them long enough like this, so they'll launch you up into the air. They're really, really fun. You can even for some reason, I don't know why you would, but you can also go down off of them. This game also has a good bit of water in it. So I don't know if they just took that from Sonic 3 inspiration, where like a lot of the stages just have random water. But there is a full water stage. And we'll get to that water stage when we get to it, because I will say, I don't know if Galactic did this first, or if this game's been in dev longer than Galactic and they decided to do the idea. But dude, when you see some of the ideas that they had for this water stage, you're gonna be like, what the frick? Like, it's actually phenomenal that a human being can think of this, because Bubble Blossom was always really, really cool, and I really loved Bubble Blossom. But there is something about the gimmicks in the next water zone in this game that are just 10 times better than anything Bubble Blossom attempts to do. And Bubble Blossom is a really good zone. Y'all know how much I love that one. So. Yeah. All right, let's go. Dude, the sprite work too. That's the one thing we'll be able to consistently appreciate about this. And I kind of wish this game was complete so I could kind of see what was going on with the story, why we fight such random machines and never fight Eggman until the end. Because it really is technically never explained because of the way that the game not being done, you know, so you're just kind of like, what the frick is Eggman, you know? Like, aw, frick, I didn't want that thing. Oh my gosh. They give out a lot of regular shields in this game. I think shield play is very encouraged in this game, which I also appreciate a little bit to an extent. I don't know if that was all completely and totally the way, because in the original like Sonic games, you know, you had the shields and you kind of had to earn them, and keeping them was kind of the mastery of that. But in this, they kind of hand you the shields, and they constantly make you switch up shields if you kind of know where you're going. It's like I think they encourage and incentivize shield play in this game, if that makes any sense, because shields are like a staple here. Oh great, we're in the freaking water. Get me out of here! Oh, frick me. There we go. Let me say, get me out of here. You don't need the water. Yeah, see? Lots of shields you can get if you're just smart. But yeah, man. There's a lot I could say about this game and a lot I couldn't say. You know, I don't really think there are too many negatives aside from the level design still having a lot of the similarities with its predecessor, and you know, it not being done. But other than that, like, I can really say a lot of good for this. I couldn't, but you know, there's less to praise, right? Because it's not a complete experience, so there's less to praise. I can't really praise Sonic, in the Moon Facility like I can with Fallen Star, because Fallen Star doesn't have, you know, Fallen Star has all these cutscenes and all these magical things. I have never done this boss fight proper. I'm fighting Metal Sonic, bro. They knew there was too much lack of Metal Sonic in their last game, so they're like, you know what, we need Metal Sonic to be here for everything. Because for some reason, he's just a staple in these... I don't understand what the hype with Metal... y'all know I've never understood it anyway. But I've never understood, like, the hype for Metal Sonic in fan games. Like, why does he show up in every single one of them? What is the point? You know? What is the point of him? Oh, great. Well, I'm dead. I am dead. I am dead, pretty much. Unless I can clutch, I'm dead. Which I doubt I'll be able to clutch. Yeah, I'm dead. Oh, we clutch! Let's get it, baby. That was awesome. Frick you, Metal Sonic. Frick you, Metal Sonic. Luckily, I kind of knew how to fight him anyway. Yeah, I've never understood the mandate. Like, every single fan game that's ever been made, aside from the Lake Fepard ones, everybody's like, oh, shoot, we don't have Metal Sonic. How can we throw him in here or make him a central part of the plot? Like, Metal Sonic must be such an irrelevant, such just a garbage character that they feel the need to make him useful in every single game and force him into plots in every game. So this is Bamboo Breeze Zone, one of my other favorite zones in this game because one, the music, but also they have this cool gimmick. So it's kind of a returning gimmick from, what is it? It's kind of a returning gimmick from Raspberry River, but it's a lot different where you actually can use the breeze of the bamboos to actually launch yourself up in the air. So there'll be a giant bamboo, these things will launch you up in the air and you can go. And I really love the music here because I did not do that, by the way. Well, I kind of charged it up, but I guess it's stuck in the charge. But I let go of the charge. But like the but I do think this will be the next act will be the water zone, because there's a lot of water in the next one from what I remember, I believe, or I could be wrong about that. It might be the next one, because I mean, I will say this is where some of the similarities start to kind of disappear. This zone reminds me more of the very first zone in Gusty Greenhouse from the first game, is what these remind me of, but less of Bubble Blossom, you know. But he does tend to, you know, take a lot of inspiration from his previous game, because I mean, it worked. So don't fix what isn't broken, right? You don't need to fix what isn't broken. You don't need to change what is worked, right? All those zones in the previous game work, so why fix them? Now, I will say, I think he did get rid of a lot of the more forgettable zones like tropical tracks. He redid the snow zone and actually made it enjoyable in this game, and then just got completely rid of Crater, Carnival Crater, because although I like Carnival Crater, you know, it's pretty evident that that one was a little forgettable as well. I can admit that even as well. And so Yazo got rid of that one completely. I don't even think there's a lava zone in this game. I think Fallen Star, just looking at this game and seeing not only just the improvement in level design, but just the way that Fallen Star did things, you can completely and totally tell that Fallen Star was one of those, this is my first fan game, obligatory water stage, obligatory ice stage, obligatory like what is it, lava stage, you know, like, or fire stage, like I'm just testing things. And then, you know, a first stage that looks like Green Hill, mechanical stage with the turbine, you know, a really pretty zone in there, like a Planet Wisp-esque zone that they always throw in for some reason, you know, city stage. They had everything in those, and it makes a lot of sense. So Bamboo Breeze, I believe, is when we start getting into the water stuff. Yes, so this is now the water stage. So there's something cool here. As you can see, I have this little bubble around me. Now, what does this do? You can see I no longer have any water physics, but I also don't have breath. I don't have to breathe underwater. But now you're probably wondering, Baraspy, he just had the fire shield under the water. That's right. So if you have that thing on you, and provided you don't let them pop, you have those little things, and you can actually use fire and lightning shields underwater with that little gimmick, which is such a unique gimmick that I just never thought would be possible. Now, Sonic Galactic does something, I wouldn't say similar, but Sonic Galactic does do something in a way that is very... feels very same-ish to this one. Sonic Galactic does something pretty unique as well with its water stage and makes it really fun. But whether this one came first or Sonic Galactic came first, it's hard to tell because this game was in a dev cycle for a long time comparatively to Sonic Galactic, which also has been, but I'm pretty sure this probably started before Galactic, I would say, but I'm not too sure. Couldn't tell you. I wouldn't know. All right. I'm not a dev and I don't pay attention to that stuff, so let me know in the comments. But either way, it's still an amazing gimmick that I thought was just so unique that I was like, bro, I just need to show off the gimmick here, because who would think of this, you know, aside from the Sonic Galactic devs, right? Like, nobody would think of this. And it's cool what fan games are doing in an attempt to make fan games more interesting, and Water Zone specifically more interesting, because Water Zones have always been kind of meh in general, aside from Hydro City, of course, which is the best one. Water Zones have always been kind of whatever. So, in an attempt to make them more interesting, fan games have obviously taken that role, because I don't think Sega is going to be tackling Water Zones anytime soon. Because, I mean, what? Superstars did it, and it was kind of lame in that one. And didn't they just do the bubble thing again? Like, they pretty much just do... They're like, you know what? Bubble thing worked, it ain't broke, don't fix it, whatever. There is supposed to be boss battle music here, but I think it's because I skipped the cutscene. Got these little fricks, so... Pretty much, this is a lot like that one boss in Fallen Star where you have to destroy the arms or whatever, and then it'll launch in the air, I believe, afterwards, so... Come at the... Come at the... But the music here, as you can tell, also is phenomenal. But there is one, I think it's called Urban something, Urban whatever, and the music there is phenomenal. As well as the gimmicks. Man, they brought back the grinding from Discount Districts, and it is fire. It's fire. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. I'm gonna leave it at that. But y'all gotta hear that junk. There's some really good music in a lot of these zones, especially Cloudy Complex. Oh my gosh, bro. Cloudy Complex. Woo! Oh yeah, here's the snow one. Okay, Shivering Sewer Zone. So this is the new snow zone. Now, I will say, the old snow zone is in this game and you can access it in this game. I forgot how to do it. I don't know why anyone would want to play that. I mean, it has the current sprite work, which is cool, but I don't know why anybody would want to do that when that stage is just kind of lame, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. But the music here, just have a listen, bro. Bro, that junk, bro, I love that junk. It's so good, dude. And I think they like ramp it up by like 10 or 15 in the freaking next act, dude. This is actually a fun ice stage. Like now y'all know I usually do like ice stages. I do like ice stages. Not like I hate ice stages. I don't want anybody to get it twisted. I do like ice stages. I just think the one from Fallen Star is pretty forgettable and pretty boring. That's the only downside to that one, which is probably in my opinion, that's the weakest stage in that entire game. This one is literally better than that stage in every way. It's actually fun, and the music is actually like way better than I think anything that the first one had, which the music was good in the first zone. Don't get it wrong, don't get it twisted. It was good. I just personally didn't think it was as good as just this. This is way better. I think it's more enjoyable. It's more fun. And this is just he stepped it up. I think that a lot of people probably share the same sentiment that I do, that Frosty Fountain or Frozen Fountain or Frozen Factory or whatever the frick it was called. I just don't care for it at all when, I just can't even be bothered to remember the name of it. I think a lot of people also didn't enjoy it as well, and I think Stardrop really went out of his way to make sure that if he did an ice stage again, not only would he improve on what he did last time, but he would make it a lot more fun. And he did it. I mean, one of those little teacup-esque gimmicks where you're in the little thing and you have to jump up out of them and they like launch you up high in the air, you know, and you have to do it based on trajectory. That's a really, really fun gimmick that I really, really super enjoy. You know, the music as well, the aesthetics around here are way, way better than the previous one. There's just so much here to enjoy about the new ice zone, which is, you know, Shivering Sewer Zone. Such an enjoyable zone, and it's really, really fun. And I'm glad that they did. I'm glad that he stepped it up. I'm glad that they just stepped it up in every way. And now we should be getting into Act 2. And Act 2's music is pretty good too. I'm gonna let y'all listen to that a little bit too. Which is good that I need to start doing this so y'all can hear stuff. Because I have a lot to say, but I don't have a lot to say at the same time. I don't want to reiterate stuff. Okay, there we go. I've never done this without Supersonic, so we're gonna figure this out on the fly. But, I think what also... Well, actually I did. That's a lie. I did that when I first played the game. I didn't even... I will say this. The music and the gimmicks here are way more fun and more memorable because now that I'm thinking about the original zone, dude, there was like nothing going for that zone. They even completely got rid of that stupid ice gimmick that every single fan game has replicated since Sonic Mania. They literally, it's not present here. Like, yeah, you get caught in ice and it's pretty annoying, but it's not like a key part of it. It's not like, oh, you have to use the ice and the sliding momentum of the ice in order to, you know, get away. Like right there, like I got caught in ice, but I can easily just break out of it. There's no point of it being here. Oh, please have bubbles! Bubbles! Am I drowning? Okay, there we go. I didn't know if I was drowning. Okay, good. I was about to drown. That was really bad. But yeah, like Shivering Sewer, such a good zone. Music is amazing as well. I love everything about it. It is just such a step up from the Frozen Factory Fountain, whatever the frick. Is this the one urban whatever? It is. It is. Urban Umbrella. Y'all just gotta listen to this junk. Dude, you can't tell me that isn't the best thing you've ever heard. It doesn't have a proper perfect loop, unfortunately, but you can obviously see a lot of the inspiration from Discount Districts in this stage, but with the grinding mechanic. But the grinding mechanic is made even more fun with that bubble mechanic that you saw. This right here, this bubble mechanic is so fun. So it will go depending on the direction that you jump into it. So if you come in from the side, it's going to go to the side. If you jump up at a diagonal angle, it's going to go up and at a diagonal angle. It'll go down if you go down from it. There's a lot of cool things about this gimmick. I mean, see, I did it that way, so it put me that way. I will say there is a bit of looping in this game. Sometimes you can loop, like I looped in the sewer a little bit, but there's also this where at the end of a rail you will jump off automatically. It's really cool. There's a lot of cool things to really love and appreciate about the zone. It's probably easily one of the best zones in the entire game. This one and Cloudy Complex for sure, best ones in this game. And I think this is the last boss fight in the game, at least till the end. No, maybe I might be wrong. I do know this looks like one of the last programmed ones. Now we're just going to be running through the rest of the game, I believe. We'll see. But, needless to say, Urban Umbrella, really peak zone, and it's about to get even more peak, because guess what? Listen to this music, buddy. I low-key kind of ruined it with goofy Sonic Heroes music, but it is what it is. Y'all kind of get the point of what I'm trying to get at, dude. It's just, and that little gimmick right there, you don't see it much, but when it pops up, it pops up. Like, dude, this is just such a good stage. Oh my gosh. Like, dude, he was cooking here. And I will say, like I said, there's a lot of whataboutisms and similarities to Fallen Star with the level design in this game, but I think this stage onward is when he truly starts to like understand level design and completely improves on it. Yeah, there's still a little bit of similarities, but he's really getting the flow of the gimmicks. He's really getting the flow of how it should go, enemy placement. You know, like enemy placement isn't bad here. Like, you're not gonna get annoyed by a lot of enemies, but you might get trouble with a few of them if you're not prepared for it. There's a lot here that is just like, you can tell he's getting a huge grasp on level design as he's learned, because I mean, what, this is like his second fan game, so it's like, of course he was gonna have some time to learn on it. But with a project as ambitious as this was, and how ambitious Fallen Star was, you were only gonna have a moment of learning level design, of course, you know. So, you know, but here it feels really like he starts to understand a lot of level design choices, as well as Cloudy Complex, which we'll get to, and when we get there, we'll get there, which I think is gonna be the next zone. I might be wrong. We'll see what happens. But we'll get a fire show going into it, so that's good if we do get to it. Let's see. Oh, it is. Hold up. Just listen to this, young bro. It's so good. I ruined it again. It is what it is. But I will say, this zone, very reminiscent of Raspberry River. You can tell there's a little bit of inspiration, probably why I like it so much. But also the gimmicks here are just so fun. There's a lot of air gimmicks, a lot of jumping gimmicks. This stage probably has the most gimmicks built into one. You have this little gimmick here, where, you know, you can jump up and down, and as you go on it more, you get higher and higher. They have the little air walking gimmick. You have the little air jumping gimmick. There's so many gimmicks in this that just make this stage so fun, along with obviously the beautiful soundtrack to accompany it. And that's another thing about this game. Not only does the level design just ramp up as you go through it, but Holly Taylor and there's another person, Misty and Holly Taylor working together to make this music. Most of this was actually by Misty. I think Holly only did a small portion of this game. But either way, Holly and Misty working together, especially Holly doing Urban Umbrella, as you can hear there, and that little tornado gimmick as well, which is really cool. Sonic just tanks tornadoes casually, which is always funny. But with that being said, the music obviously ramped up from the previous game as well. Don't get me wrong, the music in the previous game was phenomenal, and we gushed about it plenty. but there was a lot to gush about in this one. I might have done more gushing in this one than I did in the previous. I don't know for sure yet. I'll have to look back at the footage and we'll see what happens. But right now, I have gushed way more, I feel like, with this one, because I do genuinely love the music in this one. It's just 10 times better than anything Fallen Star had, which, don't get me wrong, Fallen Star's music was phenomenal. It was really, really good. It was great, but it was not, it's just, this one's way better. Okay, yeah, this is the last boss, which is literally just a rehash of the boss from the first game. Just a little different, but design's similar, same. But that means we're heading into Act 2. And the music in Act 2... Oh, y'all aren't ready. Hopefully I don't mess it up, but just listen. Dude, the guitar! I swear, Holly and Misty just be pulling out guitar occasionally in these games, but oh my gosh, this has the best music in the game, aside from, you know, obviously I'm a little biased to guitar, because I mean, Raspberry River had it too, bro, but dude, just that, and then dude, this just sounds like an Air Zone. It gives me a lot of vibes to Windy Valley from, what is it, Sonic and the, or Sonic Adventure. And then you have this thing, and this was going to be a cool fight. From what I've seen in the leaks or whatever, this is going to be a really cool fight, but it obviously doesn't happen. This is probably just going to be the best zone in the game, to be honest. It already is, but it could have been the best. It could have been way better. Oh man, if only I was playing the version that I could have had, but I'm an irrelevant YouTuber, so it doesn't matter because nobody likes my content, so I won't get the special version that has some of the bosses added in. Gee, feel bad for me, I don't... I'll play it. Alright, this one's cool too. I just did not look at the name of it, but it's like, what, Sugar Creek or something? I don't know. Frick. This one's a really cool zone too. I like the music here too. But I like the aesthetic as well here. Because you also have this gimmick here, where the longer you do it, the faster he'll do it, and he always shoots up. He does always shoot up, so there's that. But you have a lot of these. You have this little grabby gimmick as well, which is really, really cool that I enjoy. There's a lot of cool gimmicks here too. Like I said, gimmicks galore here. And he overloads the game with gimmicks, I'm not gonna lie. But they're all fun. It's not like Sonic Superstars, where it just gets excessive and annoying and you just don't enjoy it and you're like, alright, like, you know, like, this one, the gimmicks are few and far between, and they're all fun in their own respectful, rightful way, and they're enjoyable, and they improve on the level design. It kind of honestly takes a lot of those things that had Fallen Star isms in this game and kind of completely takes that away because you're interacting with these gimmicks in such a fun way. They're so fun, and I just genuinely don't know how he could have thought about gimmicks like this, you know, but I'm not that smart, you know, so I guess that makes sense, right? But and look, you can even see the moon facility in the background right there. I actually never realized that until now. That's actually so cool. But this stage kind of has a lot mixed in, and I like the scenery here. I mean, look, you got those little like death bones, and then you kind of have like a machine. Like this seems like some sort of like graveyard type-esque location where like you can obviously see the moon things being implemented inside of these like little walkways and stuff like that, basically insinuating like, okay, this is right outside, like this is like the final stretch, you're right outside the moon facility, this is on the way, like this is where they did. Actually, there is pieces of lore, right? Powdery Plain Zone, what once was a vast ocean is now turned into a desert thanks to the moon facility's experience. Yeah, so that's literally, you can tell, you can see the moon facility from here. We're almost there. Yeah, see, so there is actual little lore places here, which is really cool. So like this used to be an entire ocean, apparently. I mean, you can tell with the water, and then as you can see, because of the moon facility's experiments, it looks like they kind of barred off some places with these little mechanical areas that are here, and then it's a desert now, which is really cool. And you can just see the moon facility in the background. I forgot about the little lore pieces. I should have shown that off more, but it is what it is. You know, because it does kind of help put things together, but that is why this is the second to last zone, and this is a really solid zone to kind of end off with. Moon facility zone is still pretty good. It's a lot better than Turbine, so that's for sure. So because the Turbine zone was fun, but not as good as this one, in my opinion. My humble opinion. There we go. Now we get to Act 2 of Powdery Plains. Oh wow, okay, hold up. I don't remember this music, so y'all are gonna kind of go for a ride with me here. This low-key feels like it's changed, but I'm probably tripping. My mouth is hanging wide open. I was not aware of the guitar, bro. That's another thing about this game, man. When you get to moving, you are moving in this game, dude. Like, holy crap, when Sonic hits top speed, you will just start flying. This game is super fast compared to a lot of the other fan games I've played. You know, like, they have that sense of speed in them, but nothing like this. Like, dude, this dude is fast in this game. That's all you need to know. Alright, hit that. Dude, such a fun gimmick. Oh my gosh. Just everywhere. Such fun gimmicks. And it's also raining here, which I find really cool and interesting as well. Look at how close that moon facility is. That junk is huge. Oh, you're kidding me. You're just gonna edge me like that? That's crazy. Now look at how close the moon facility is now. Ow. Okay, I had to figure out which way I was going. I didn't know. Because that was a deep hole. That's what she said. Anyway. I don't know why I did that, by the way. Don't ask. Okay. I thought I was coming up on... Let's see. I believe there is a... Oh, shoot. Please. Dude. There we go. I was about to say, I believe there's a thing here. I wanted to get Supersonic because I don't know if there's going to be a fight yet, but I do want to show him off a little more because he does look really cool in this game, and I think he deserves the recognition. I think he looks better than the Fallen Star variant because the Fallen Star variant was really good, but he felt very disproportionate in that game. Like his head looked way too big for his body. Here he looks way better, and he looks just shinier, more golden, and you know his body's proportionate. Like, you know, I don't know, his head just looked and felt way too big in the previous game. I mean, heck, you could even see it with Starfall Sonic. There we go. It's time to enter the moon facility. Here we go. Storm the castle once more and put a stop to Eggman and Metal Sonic's plans. Mainly Eggman's. And dude, the music here is really cool too. So, what I love about Moon Facility that you're gonna see here that's super, super freaking cool about it is Moon Facility not only one has just the dopest music. Moon Facility takes and combines all the previous gimmicks from each zone and puts them all into one. Also, you have Tails here. That's why you can only beat the game with Sonic, because for some reason Tails just does not appear in any of the other versions. But as you can see, we have the gimmicks from the previous areas here. All of them. Just in one zone. Don't ask how they got in the Moon Facility. I'm assuming that every area surrounding the Moon Facility has something to do with it. But either way, because they touched the outskirt of it, and then I guess now we're in the Moon Facility that was also altered by Eggman, if I had to make a fat guess. But there's a lot of cool gimmicks here, which are basically just the same ones, but, you know, it is what it is. The level design here, very solid. It's not near as annoying as Turbine. Turbine was pretty annoying, I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty annoying just with enemy placement and whatnot, but this one, enemy placement seems to be more sparse and sporadic to take more room for the gimmicks, which I like, because it deserves that. I didn't even realize they had the little ching 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 thingies. You know, so that's the main thing about this area, which is that it takes all the previous zones gimmicks, which is super. I could have done that the first time, but I'm kind of a loser, so that's why it didn't happen that way. Oh, I'm getting rated. Hold up. Okay. There we go. I've been seeing these throughout the stage. I didn't know if I was ever going to interact with one. Where? Okay. Yeah, see? It's super cool. It's so super cool that they did this. Like, I don't think anybody would... Maybe there is another fan game and I'm tripping, I don't remember, but I don't think I remember a certain type of fan game taking gimmicks from previous zones and putting them all into a final zone. Like, hey, take everything you learned and apply it here, as well as, hey, also make sure that, you know, you use it to your advantage accordingly, you know, and mix and match all of them at once, because like you see, you have those things and you're gonna have this little frick. Oh my frick. Thanks, Tails. Goodbye. I've never played with Tails in this game, by the way. Yeah, and then you get to see we're trying to make our way to the top, so that's pretty cool. And you'll see now we're up in the air, which is cool. Now, this zone is very narrative-driven, I believe, as well, so it is going to be longer than the previous ones, which is probably also why they make it so... which is probably why they also make it so... what is it? Filled to the brim with the previous gimmicks because it's so narrative driven and long. And they're like, all right, we want you to interact with all the previous gimmicks. I don't think this zone actually introduces its own gimmicks, though. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think it does. I might be wrong. Oh my frick. Hold up. Okay, I forgot how annoying those things were. Never mind, I lied. Good jump. There we go. Oh, there we go. I had to interact with that at some point. Might need to lock in a little bit. I'm doing a little poorly. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Where am I going? Up? Okay. I mean, that would be the logical. Nice, there we go. Yeah, if you hit an angle just right in this, man, Sonic will start flying. It's so good. Like, look at this, dude. The speed is crazy. Sets off my autism brain just perfectly. All right, let's get up there. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know why. I thought I would have to fight Metal Sonic here for some reason. I thought for some reason I would have to fight him, but I don't have to, so we're good. Alright, let's do this. Moon Facility Act 2. And that'll be the end of our run, which will be sad. At least until I get to replay the game in the future with the newer version, which I'm happy with. Also, apparently the whole narrative thing is that they're trying to like replicate Metal Sonic. Can yeah, I'm dead. Yeah, I'm dead. There's his death animation if you're curious about what it looks like. I wonder what's got Sonic moving so quick in these like beginning parts of the cutscenes. He's like, man, I gotta go! And then he's just like moving. There we go. Frick you. It was not letting me hurt him earlier. Dude. Okay, I was about to say. Yeah, so these are like Metal Sonic clones, and they'll do this. But luckily, you don't need to fight them all the time. They're just kind of showing you off its gimmick, I guess, even though it's not really a gimmick because you can completely ignore it. So, yeah, don't know why. Maybe they were just like, hey, let's introduce combat. And it's like, all right. But now, as you can see, we have the Urban Umbrella gimmicks here, which are going to be more prevalent throughout this level as well. And we're going to be having the Cloudy Complex ones, I believe, at some point, if I'm not mistaken. And we'll be having the Powdery Plains ones. Yeah, see, you can just run by these guys. I'm gonna, yeah. So I don't lose my rings.
I'd rather not lose my rings, you know.
Dude, the friggin', yeah, there it is. The friggin' music, dude, so good. That I just wanted those guys to die. Yep, there it is. Told you. Even have the Cloudy Complex gimmicks. Wow. Wow. Yeah. So they have them all here. They have all the gimmicks that you could ever want here. They have them all. I don't really think Moon Facility has its own original gimmick. I might be wrong, and we might be running into it here in a little bit. But from what I remember, it does not have its own. So we'll see what happens. Oh, hey. Never got that. That's awesome. I like collecting those little moon medals. They're fun. All right, we're almost there. To the top, baby. And look at that. We're almost... Dude, this thing is tall if it's almost outside of Earth. Holy crap. Dang. Yep, and there's the Powdery Plains one, as you saw. Another one as well. Dude, oh my gosh. I didn't realize this thing went almost out of Earth. I've played this game a good amount of times, and I never realized that once. I'm actually kind of stupid, but what's not new, right? I wasn't supposed to go on top of that, but I did. Look at that. I wonder if I would have just stayed on that spring, if I would have just got like a massive jump off of that, like farmed a massive jump. Let's go this way. Never mind, I guess we're going this way. But I did see this. Yes, I want it. Dude, look at that outside area. It's so cool. Sonic can breathe in space, by the way, just so y'all know. A lot of people try to say no, he doesn't, but he does. I can guarantee you he does. I've done it plenty of times in canon. Okay. I'm low-key just kind of trigger happy right now. I ain't gonna lie. Okay. Just gotta go up with the tails. I was like, what the frick? Where'd he go? I was like, he didn't take me all the way up. And there we go. Now, we just fight the boss, which I believe doesn't even give me rings. So I can't really fight him with Supersonic. Right? Yeah. I do get my light. Well, never mind. I was gonna say maybe I would be able to get Supersonic, but yeah. So this is an interesting boss. I don't understand really what the vision was, but I can kind of see it, I guess is the best way to put it. Hey, can I? What? Oh, I think I have to hit his nose. Yeah, that's right. This is a fun looking boss though. I mean, it is fun. Like, I've had fun with it before. How it escalated to this point, I couldn't tell you, but yeah, how it escalated to this point where he's, you know, gotten crazy and everything's blowing up around me, I couldn't tell you, but yeah, we're cooked. Is it blowing up? Yeah. Okay, cool. Alright, cool. Yep, so that is Sonic and the Moon Facility. Thank y'all for watching the video. Sorry. Woo. It's always fun to do these complete runs. Don't worry, we'll be getting to Superstars soon. At least I hope so. I want to get to Superstars, but I have not gotten a freaking response from any of my buddies. So hopefully they'll respond at some freaking point and we can play Superstars. But this has been Moon Facility. I am going to let the credits play because even though the game was not complete, I do believe that these, because Dark is also a goat of mine too. He does Sonic Oral. Despite it not being a complete experience, these people did work hard on the game and there was genuine passion put into this. There was genuine passion put into this project, even if whatever happened and there was not a a completion. And obviously there's going to be people that are going to complete it with the project, but I still believe that this deserves recognition because this was such a good fan game. Such a good fan game at the end of the day. It really was. It really was. I don't care what anybody says. It was even incomplete. It is such a fun and just amazing fan game through and through on every level. And I think all of the people deserve to be credited because they are amazing. Stardrop and his team, Holly Taylor, Misty, Hi, Jacko, Tails Monster Dark as well. Dark was super cool. The artwork, all that. So I'm gonna let the rest of these credits play, and I'll see you guys it'll either be before or after the sequel. Will be the next two I'll do, or I don't know what I'll do next, but one of those two.